Going to be the most important and the most personal YouTube video that I will ever post on my channel. I'm going to be talking about my story. I'm going to talk about how I went from being $8,000 in debt to my parents to now making $20,000 consistently every single month. So this is going to be a very personal, I'm just going to go over my entire story of how I went from there to where I am now. So yeah, let's just get right into it. I started trading in April of 2024. I wasn't taking it seriously. You know, most of the time when everyone starts trading, they start looking at it, but they don't really take it seriously for the first month or two. But by July, it was July of 2024, I started to actually take it seriously. I started to watch the TGR Bootcamp. I watched all those videos that you've probably seen online. I was pretty much, that's kind of how, trading starts, is you start watching the videos. And then I also had a friend who was trading at the time who actually taught me a lot of basic things like ICT concepts. So I was very lucky to have a friend like that, kind of like a mentor. I was very lucky to have that in the beginning because he also helped for me to understand basic concepts. I started trading seriously in early July. I started actually back testing. My friend introduced to me what back testing was. And I started back testing. I was pretty much just trading like inverse fair value gaps, like just really like nothing. I was pattern trading. I was just trading like a very mechanical system. And I actually managed to pull some pretty good back testing statistics for like a month back testing. And I was like, okay, screw it. I'm going to get a funded account. I was literally like a month into trading. I was like, okay, I feel confident. I back tested. I'm going to get a funded account. I got a top set funded account. I went on like an 8-win streak. I was killing it. I don't even know what it was, bro. I got a top set 50K. I passed it within like 4 trades. And I started winning on the normal XFA. And I remember this specific day. It was August 14th, 2024. It was my first day on an XFA. And I won like $1,500. And I remember that day I was the most like, it was the best feeling in the world. I came downstairs. I was like, Dad, I made $1,500 in a single day. And he was like, wow, I'm proud of you or whatever, blah, blah, blah. You can imagine what ended up happening. I blew that account. Right. After that day, I went on like a 3-4 loss losing streak, and the account was blown. The account was actually blown while I was on a trip in Costa Rica in August. It was pretty annoying. I remember that kind of like, it didn't ruin my trip in Costa Rica, but definitely made it a little bit worse. Having to blow my first ever blown account after being close to a payout was rough. Moral of the story is I had beginner's luck pretty much. That is the definition of beginner's luck. I passed an account and got close to a payout and then blew it like a month, 2 months into trading. After that, I decided to go back to paper trading, kind of build confidence back up. At this point, I was still trading pretty, it wasn't like a good strategy. I was trading the TJR strategy. Liquidity sweep, break of structure, fair value gap. You know how it goes, right? I was trading a very, very not so good strategy for a long time. And I was trading that on paper. And I honestly, I went on like a decent win streak on paper. So I was like, okay, I'll get a funded account. But that was only 3 months of back testing, or not back testing, of paper trading to want to go into that funded account again. So by November, I was like, okay, I'm ready for a funded account. I bought an eval, and then I was literally in eval jail for, what was it, all the way up until like March. In eval jail until March, from November until March. Couldn't pass any accounts. I was pattern trading. I did not have a solid strategy. But in March, that is when I found continuations. I trade a continuation model. So I started to find some videos about that, and I kind of slowly started to trade it more, and I started to back test it, trying to get a better feel for it. And I found that model actually worked very well for me. I started trading it. I ended up passing an account in March because of that model. I was going on a nice win streak with the model, and it felt refreshing after losing so much. It felt very refreshing. One thing I forgot to mention, in that span of being in eval jail, I put myself in $8,000 of debt to my parents because I was spending their money. I had no money. I was using their credit card and buying accounts almost every single day. I would buy an account because I would pretty much blow an account every single day, which is crazy to say. From November until March, I was just blowing accounts like constantly. I was even copy trading when I haven't even gotten a payout yet. I was trying to scale before I even got a single payout. So I blew so many accounts, roughly $8,000 worth, and I was in debt to my parents. And it got to a point, this was actually like late February, right before March, where my parents sat me down and they told me, because they figured it out how much money I've actually been spending for the first time. They sat me down and they were yelling at me, bro. They were pissed at me. And it was hard sitting there, not gonna lie. It was very hard to sit there and just hear that after having already have been losing so much, like for my mental. Having them even push it on like that, it just really, really hurt. And it kind of made me realize, like, I can't keep draining their money. Like I can't. It's not even my money. So I literally had no choice but to stop. So they gave me like $100 left to spend on an evaluation. It was roughly $100. I remember it was like they gave me like it wasn't like strict money. It was just like I have like one or two more tries or else it's over. And literally the next try I went for it and I bought the $50 evaluation on Top Step, passed it in March, trading this continuation model, and then I literally got my first payout in April. So things kind of turned around very not that quickly, but in like a month things started to turn around for me, and I got my first payout for roughly $1,000. This payout felt extremely refreshing after having lost just like for like a year straight, just losing $8,000 of debt to my parents. So it felt very refreshing to get a payout. It was only $1,000, but still refreshing. Obviously, that $1,000 went right to my parents because it's 1/8 of what I owe them, right? But after I had the first payout, it showed me what is really possible. Also, I had a lot of conviction in my strategy just because of back testing. Like I spent countless of hours back testing, like hundreds and hundreds of hours every single day, to build up a win rate and to kind of give myself confidence, which is what I did. It's what I recommend to my students as well. It's so helpful. So definitely do that if you're struggling with conviction in yourself. Back test, get a win rate, prove it to yourself, and you're chilling. That's what I did. I had conviction. So after I had that payout, I invested in more accounts. Like I got like 3 more accounts on Top Step. And then it was April that I had my first ever, I guess like big. It wasn't like that big of a month, but like in March, right? I got the payout. But all right. So I forgot to mention this, but I got the payout, right? And it actually got denied. But I still say I got the payout, obviously, because like a payout is a payout. It was $1,000, but unfortunately, it did not hit my bank because basically I wasn't trading under my name. I was 16 at the time, and everything was under my name. I just didn't think that Top Step would really care, if I'm being honest. So the whole platform on Top Step was under my name, my email, my everything, and then the KYC, like, bro, it was all a mess. So basically, they just banned me from the platform because of that, and I did not get my payout. So that was very frustrating. But in the end of the day, I still got the payout. So I wasn't like I still had the confidence that I needed, right? And then I also like I showed my parents that, and like they realized, okay, yeah, you can do this. So they also started to have more faith in me, which allowed me to be able to get more accounts in the end. But I did not like get the direct $1,000. Just wanted to clear that up. I forgot to mention that a lot, but because like in my mind it's not a huge deal because I still proved I can get a payout. But I got banned, so I had to create a new Top Step account. Or actually no, I went to Alpha Futures, and I created an account in Alpha Futures. And this was still in March, and then I actually ended up running up a payout in March on Alpha Futures. I passed the account and then ran up a payout, and guess what happened? The same fucking shit. I got banned. It was not under my name. It sounded like it was all correct, but when it was time to do the KYC, they apparently my face was in it. Like I handed the phone to the person I wanted to do it for, and then they saw me. So bam, identity fraud, boom, banned from Alpha after requesting another $1,000 payout. So that was pretty freaking rough. Two payouts in March, but both were denied. Or I think it was like early April for the Alpha one. I think it was like early April, but it was rough. I'm not gonna lie, but did not let that hold me back. I went back to Top Step, new account, new profile, whatever. I knew that I knew what I had to do in order to not get banned. So I made sure everything was pitch perfect, and you can imagine how things went in April. Things went great. April was like my first. It wasn't a 5-figure month, but it was the first month that I actually was able to make like a substantial amount of money. I think it was like a $3,000 or $4,000 month, right? Not anything crazy, but for me it was definitely a lot. All that money still went to my parents because again I was in debt, right? But at that point I proved to myself I can get payouts and it can hit my freaking bank. Like it felt good for the payouts to actually like hit my fucking bank account for once in April. So that was that, and then got scaled to 5 accounts on Top Step, and then May was my first 5-figure month. It was like $9,000 or whatever, 9.5K month in May, and then from there things just started to scale, like not like crazy, but now I'm making, $20,000 a month, and I've been making money consistently for a decent amount of time now. So, I mean, obviously from that point in like May, June, whatever, until now, there is a lot to go over, but in my opinion, I've been profitable since then, so nothing. Just wanted to show you guys something. Now, obviously, that I'm profitable for a long time, and I have learned pretty much everything that you need to learn. And I mean, you can always learn more, obviously, but I've gone to a point where I have a lot of experience and can help other people. So now, obviously, I have students, and it is more fulfilling to make my students win than myself. Like bringing student results is more fulfilling than my own results to me at this point, because changing other people's lives is the most fulfilling thing in the world. So I just want to show you guys some student results real quick because I'm proud of it. I'm more proud of my student results than my own results. But right here, my boy Sniper, he is an OG. I don't know if you guys can see. This is 10,000. This is 10,000, 15,000, and 15,000 on Lucid. So what was that? 45K. And that was like just in the past 2 months. So 45K, genuinely inspiring, bro. I remember he's been scaling for a long time. Like, he has been killing it. Like, let me show you guys another one from a bit ago. Boom, 2 max payouts. This was in like, I don't know, this was in like December, 2 max payouts, like 10K. This is more, $11,000 a month. You can see all the payouts requested for Sniper. And actually my first ever student, I want to give him a shout out. His name is Jaden. He was my first ever student in like late June or early July. I started teaching him. And this is a very long message, so I don't want to read it all to you. But to sum it up, I'm just going to read a bit of it. I finally got my first payout after only 7 months of trading. This would not have been possible without God and Ethan. I can't thank you enough for being there for no matter what I needed and making it so I didn't make nearly as many mistakes as most beginners do. Thank you for giving me a clear path to take, and so on, so on. Right? A huge paragraph of a testimonial. Boom. This guy got funded within 5 months of trading consistently, which is pretty good. He only started working with me 2 months ago. So 2 months into working with me, he is funded. And this is actually the guy that taught me how to trade originally, taught me the basic concepts. So I had to, obviously, he taught me. He wasn't trading consistently and then took a long break. And then I kind of got him back into it by showing him, that I have actually done it, and he got back into it, and I mentored him and funded in 2 months. And then, there's a bunch more student results. But I just wanted to share some of that with you guys because it truly is more fulfilling to bring student results than my own results. So, if you guys want to apply to work with me one-on-one, I will put the link for the application in the description. See if you guys are a good fit and see if I can truly help you. So we might as well go fill out that application. And if I think I can really help you, then I will let you know and probably give you a call. So, that's pretty much it. I appreciate you guys for watching, truly. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.